Alright, back at it again with another evap. This is a 2016 Toyota RAV4. So basically what I've done is I've taken the top clamshell, the dash piece off. There's two bolts. I'll show you on the dash as well. There's one in that corner and there's one on that corner. But first you have to take the plastic off the A-pillars where the airbags sit. You have to take the radio off. You have to take those certain trims off. And you have to take off the cluster, basically everything on top. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start working on the second piece now. This way we can get to the actual frame of it. And this is that piece, and these are the two screws right next to the speakers. 1, 2. When you're taking it off, make sure you take this connector off, which is located right there. These are for the speakers, and those two are for the airbag. Take those off, unclip it, take it off. Now let's proceed. Alright, the bottom dash piece is off, and this is what it looks like. Alright, what you need to know is there's a screw up here, one over here, one inside, 2 at the bottom, 1, 2, and 3, and there's one up on top and on each corner. But you have to take the center piece off first and just disconnect all the wiring as shown. There's going to be a lot of wiring here, and just disconnect these pieces straight from the plastic member that it sits on. Don't take any of this off, you're going to damage it. Now we're gonna attempt to take this off, but before we do, we're gonna drop the steering column. Just make life easier for ourselves. Seems pretty simple. I'm guessing there's 2 screws on that side. Let's take those off. Should be 4 at the bottom for the steering wheel, 2 on that side, 2 on each side, and then slide it forward, and then we're going to be closer to the evap box, which sits right there, which houses the evaporator. Right, let's get to it. Right. Alright, steering column is down. What you need to know, there's a 14 mil bolt going from the side and 2 12s on top. But before you do any of this, make sure you take off all these harnesses, this red one, this ground wire, and this signal one for the electronic power steering. You don't want to mess with any of that. You don't want to break any of that. It's going to be quite costly if you do. And you want to take this wire loom off, just so when we pivot the main strut bar over, nothing is being tugged on, nothing is being pulled. Then you want to go ahead, take those 2 bolts off, take the ones on the side, take the ones on the evap box off, take those 2 off. There's one up on top right there. There's going to be one up on top right here. Also, they're going to be 12 or 14 bolts. There's going to be one right here. It's a little hidden one. Make sure you get that off, and if all that is good, this should be free and loose, like so. You see how everything is loose? Now what we're going to do is we're going to probably pivot this up. This way it releases from the evap box right there, which we took those 2 screws off from the top, and there's 2 at the bottom as well. You want to take all that off. And what else? Oh, I took those wire looms off, just so when we pivot this, nothing is tugged, nothing is binding. I took the wire loom off for the steering column, just because I hate damaging anything related to steering. What else? Here I just dropped this fuse box down. This way we have enough room to move things around. You see how everything is nice and loose, but you want to be careful because I left these wires alone because I'm just going to be pivoting it this way, you know. This way I don't have to mess with taking off more wires than I need to I'm gonna see what's going on over here. If we need to take anything off, I'm gonna let you know. Most likely not. I think we're pretty much home free when it comes to that. From the engine bay for the evaporator box, that's the dash, you don't need to take any of this off. I was unsure because mostly they have screws up on the corner, but this one had it inside. You want to take the 10 mil off, holding the AC lines, the high and the low, and then you want to take those two heater hoses off. This way when we take everything off, nothing is binding, nothing is snug. And when I take it off, I'll let you know. All right, I moved the whole frame over, but before you do, make sure to disconnect all the wires. There's a few in the back, for instance this one, which you don't want to tug on, you don't want to break anything. You want to take this wire off as well. You want to take that wire off. You want to unclip them, and then you want to move them in front. Also, you want to take out the one for the sensor, this one, and then there's one at the bottom. Make sure you take those off. You don't want to break anything, you don't want to damage anything. And then once I take that off, this should just slide right forward. Let me see if I can show you guys as I go along. Alright, that seems kind of impossible, but let me show you. Take your pry tool. You want to take off all these tabs which hold on all the wiring. There's a wiring right here for the actuator for the box right here. You want to take that one off. You want to unclip all of this, holding it down. You want to be careful. You don't want to break anything. You want to take this one off, that one off. I wish I could show you on camera, but I don't have my tripod. I'll show you once everything is out. Right, here comes the moment of truth. I took those clips off, one in the back, one on the side. This comes the moment of truth. Let's see if it comes right out. Oh yeah. And she's home free. Alright, this is the one I was showing you guys. You want to take this wire off. I'm guessing this is the immobilizer. Usually they just hide it behind the evaporator box. Boom, you want to take that one off. Boom, you want to take that one off at the bottom. You got to be careful, don't break anything like, you know, almost did. You want to take those two wires off. This baby right here as well. And there was one on the side right here. This is the temperature sensor. And what I did, instead of taking all that stuff up, I just left them alone like this. Don't mess with this. If you break this, it's going to be pain to fix. Alright, let me try to get the actual evaporator out. Let's see if it was damaged or what the deal was. And here we have the evaporator. You need to take off that bolt, the one on top, that one. Move this box over. There's 1, 2, I believe there is 2 bolts holding the fan box assembly. Move that to the side, get access to that bolt, and then there's just various clips you need to unclip, and this baby should just slide right out. I guess you have to unscrew the expansion valve. I don't know, I don't see any leaks, but maybe it's on the other side. I guess it had a minor leak somewhere. Probably right here, maybe right here, somewhere here. There is a leak, but my job is to change it. So I'm gonna take the expansion valve off, and I'm gonna change this, put the box back on, and then it's reassembly time. So alright, the evaporator box is in. Now it's just a matter of putting everything back. I already connected all the wires in the corner, all the wires up on top, all the wires in this corner at the bottom. Put the vent back on, put the clip at the bottom, the two on top. Now it's just a matter of getting everything back in and praying it works. Alright, everything's back in. This is the final test. Alright, let's go start it up. Let's see what happens. So far, good signs. Still have to put the certain things back on, but let's see if it starts up, if everything is okay. No airbag lights so far. Let's take the e-brake off. Let's reset the tire monitor sensors. Alright. Toyota. Let's see if the fans are working. Yes, indeed. See if all the functions are working. Everything seems good. Let me put everything back on and we should be good to go. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.